on to pile number 3. 44:31 on the clock. Okay, so again, we got a little bit of a breath in there, but this is more like a healthier pace of breath. So you guys are doing considerably better. There are some signs of the past that come through, like the background, but it's more like foundations you've set for yourself, rules, standards, or principles, or something that gives you a sense of foundation and stability, some kind of investment that you made that's prominent enough to see within your matrix. And it's a different, like a very subtle form of abundance. It's saying that, you know, it's sustained over the course of time. It's apparent in your background. Okay, that was unlike the others, but okay. Hopefully that means something for you. I mean, you're getting the meaning of that, because I know it's for you. Okay, so what are we seeing here, angels? Little flops. We can do this. Okay, hopefully that works. Okay, pile 3. Pile 3 is, there's some loose debris on the top, okay? It's very apparent. There were, on the previous, oh wow, there's a lot of movement here. It's almost like a kaleidoscope. Yeah, I'm getting that. When you turn the kaleidoscope wheel, there's a shifting of little beads and specimens and stuff. This is the first that I've seen because when I put oil and all of that on it, it acted as like some kind of glue or adhesive. So this one has some loose debris here, and I see seeds, okay, which tells me that this is abundant. This is young ground, fertile. This is a depiction of early spring to me. There's happiness here, opportunities for it, abundant opportunities for it. What else is here, Spirit? Angels, ancestors, elementals. This is the first one that I'm spinning too. I was tempted to spin the others too, but I kind of just wanted to read them straight. I don't know, but this one is different. I think it's more because of all the movement. It's inevitable. Oh, the movement is inevitable. Yeah, things keep shifting as you rotate it, whereas the others are pretty stagnant. Not in a bad way though. More like stationary or stabilized, implying deliberate action, or rather inaction. I'm kind of waiting for it to tell me to like kind of stop turning it. What is that? Trying to figure it out. This is the longest pause I've had in trying to figure it out. But just about the first time, I deliberately did not care about how long it took to get the answers. Now I gather you understand what that's like too. What is it? It's hard for me to tell what's going on here. It'll come to me when it needs to. Okay, let's count how many seeds there are in here. It looks like there's maybe a total of 3, 2 prominent. Maybe asking us to balance as things move around and juggling. But you know, the more you practice, the more precise you become in being able to judge motion of depth perception, anticipated return while things are moving. It's like being in a fun house, having to balance a couple of things with other things that could possibly collide with it, come in contact with it anyway. Why do I see a giraffe? I see a giraffe, a sad giraffe. I almost said a horse, but I think it resembles more like a giraffe. Why would it look like a giraffe though? All I know is that it definitely has a long face and it looks sad. What's going on with this? There's something I could... I see the number 2 again, except it's backwards. It could be a letter S, if that means something to you. I see something like a person riding a flying snake. Not quite like Artax from Neverending Story. This is more like serpent-like, but non-threatening. You know, it's not just non-threatening. It doesn't imply evil. And more mystical-like is what I'm saying. Okay. All right, pile 3. 5626 on the clock. Okay, spirit, angels, higher selves, ancestors of those that are watching pile 3. What is their next best steps? Spirit animals. Spirit totems. Okay. So the ones that flipped out were, gosh, all 4 of these, okay? So we've got the 3 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, 7 of Cups, and the 9 of Wands. Let's see what this is. What's pile 3's next best steps that's recommended? Okay, so I flushed them to the right as opposed to flushing them to the left from the previous read. I don't know why sometimes I have a habit of flushing bottom to the left. I flushed it to the right this time. 7 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Oh, 8 of Cups also. And 9 of Wands. So I'm seeing like this progression. 3 to 4 of Wands and 7, 8, 9. Or 7 to 8 of Cups and then 9 of Wands. Interesting. It starts and ends with this fiery aspect. You might resonate with pile 1 simply because I see a depiction of the importance of hands, and again, another green eye. I haven't studied this deck enough to be able to have some kind of familiarity with this, but there's definitely a Lion Leo aspect here. So you might have a feline or a canine type of spirit totem here, because we have a wolf. Yeah, black wolf, right, with the moon in the background. And we have the tiger, the lion, and yeah, back to back. All right. A snake also might be another spirit totem. Okay, I feel like the inner children trying to come out on this one as well. The gaining a perspective in a way of looking out on the horizon, seeing what our possibilities are, being open to that in a way that we're almost like surrendering. Do you see this? The hands in the background, this is ancestral as far as the type of surrender depicted in it. That in the vision of what we know to be true, of what life has shown us, we can't deny it. Oh, it was 10101 when we said that. That this is the base. Ultimately healing is sourced from within the pupil, right? The very center point of our vision, something that we really can't deny. We know best from what we've been shown. So no matter how much we try to block it, ultimately there is a huge surrender in that, but also a scepter for each hand. There's ultimate power in this, and it's like waking up from a sleeping eye, right? You look kind of tired or groggy once you open your eye like that. You can see that in dogs too, or animals, that it's slightly red when they wake back up after a long nap. So there's a depiction in that, and then securing that, really going after it. You see, like, the fire damages a lot, but it creates resilience with extreme exposure. So your skin thickens when it comes down to staying strong, because once you commit to securing your growth, wherever that may be, that nothing can really shake you. Not allowing anything to shake you when it comes to what you truly want, because you're setting forth and doing that. You're traveling with where the wind takes you, as that fire does. So you're creating resilience in others as well as self. The more you move forward with, the more the wind takes you. And that's really where your sights take you. We see the same green, the same type of like mute green in the wolf's eyes. I get that the Seven of Cups, like you're ruminating, it takes time, like a full cycle of a moon, the mysteries involved with the possibilities, and how that can drive you a little mad, a little fierce in proceeding with your goals. So fierce doesn't imply viciousness. This may relate to pile 1 with the coyotes or the wolves in that, but this is almost like a werewolf, where there's an ultimate drive with this being within here. It's like the dark horse, underdog, right? Driving mad with all these possibilities, like a blaze within. That if you really see this as the wolf's eye, that this is like a wolf bear, like shaven, right? It's like red within. I get that, you know, on the downside there may be a flush of anger, but on the brighter side, like on the light side, passion grounding your pursuits into pentacle energy. But I don't see pentacles here right now. So the Eight of Cups is moving on to greater perspectives, leaving some things behind, shedding of an old skin, the facade of something scary, because the fierceness is within our gentle approach, our gentle loving approach, understanding that we have needs too, and going at things without that viciousness. This is more of like vitality, as the tiger would depict. There's something about also showing your stripes, that when things are like wonderful and you're exuding your power, it's also earning your stripes as well. Setting your foot on the ground. Nine of Wands. Boundaries, not barriers. Just, these are my principles. This is like what I stand for here. This is my other value. This is my other value, right? It's laying stakes in the ground. Achievements, accomplishments, and even just identifying those things as worthy of identifying. A lot of people just kind of say it so, you know, during New Year's Eve, building resolutions, but without having to put a holiday marker on it. I feel like this is something that is well neglected. There's some kind of like god, like goddess type of energy here. Some of you might not believe in other divine forces beyond your religion or culture, but this is what it's depicting. They're good. That's what I can tell here. So it's like, I get the impression that there's a sense of control within this tiger. There's a nature of being able to control self, like there's a tame identifier in this tiger, but at the same time it's exhibiting a certain kind of voracious, how do I say it, impression, not backing down. And it's not a bluff. Yeah, we have very strong characters here, especially the one that's not, it's understated, like it's not thought of as of fierceness in it, like it's underestimated. That's what it is. 10911, that's what it was. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. There's a common theme in that. And how did that relate to the candle? Was it the constant movement and the weighing, the Two of Pentacles? It's like a kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope offers so many possibilities, always in motion. And once some things move, it's very noticeable, but it kind of clings and magnetizes to the next reflection, it leans on its reflection, so the design is constantly in the making, in the molding. Next best step for pile 3. Okay, that one flipped over on the 7 of Cups, just like that. So we have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So what I get from this is that you know how to take care of yourself here, or that you ought to, right? 111:09 on the clock. So there's been a lot of growth, emotional growth, mental clarity and stability, highly intuitive, being able to receive and share that with others, like help teaching that to others as well. But it also says that there's many opportunities of love investments, passionate pursuits, whether that be by person or just opportunities on the horizon, but many come and go. Do you see that? That's the Knight of Cups. Maybe very romantic, maybe very passionate within its offering, but you know, those opportunities come and go. So what do you want to say about that, Spirit? I think it's asking us to choose wisely about where we want to invest. That at the very foundation, let's think about that. Can you clarify the Knight of Cups, Spirit? Yeah, that we can't take on everything. Okay, this shot out onto pile 2s, but we got the 5 of Wands and Strength. So we got the Tiger again and another Lion. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of options, right? Competing interests that we have, okay? There's a lot out there on the table where we can invest in. But our struggle is, or the suggestion is to work on strengthening our abilities to have trust in the divine forces, that those opportunities that, you know, we can trust within our own drive, within our own integrity, to launch forward into what's right for us. I'm sorry, it feels so general. 114:14 was on the clock. There's a lot of orange in here. So there's sacral energy here, mixed with Leo solar energy. So we've got to assume the solar plexus chakra. Let me see the similarities in here. So we see the forest closer to the end point and the beginning point. Yeah, so it's really driving home, driving forward. You need to really understand what will stabilize you and go after that. And just recognize that we might have competing interests, but we need to prioritize what's exactly right for us, what will build stability and resilience, sustainability. Because we see this, I think the first or second card are following, I think 4 came out, so it's in the series. But we see this in the primary and then see this in the background now, fleshed out, and how we're driving in almost like a comet. So this kind of reminds me of like the burning bush. It's like a biblical, it's a burning bush. Anyway, you know what this also says? This is also cueing us to love lightly and love delicately. When we look at the 3 of Wands, it's not so apparent here, but this is darkened, like almost like a white. Very much depiction of her 3rd eye chakra at the heart here. Very much similarities there. And in that message alone, it's also telling us when we put love back out into this world, we can do it lightly in a way where we're not so completely invested. We can take things with a lighter step and put love out there for the sake of the practice of putting love out there. Oh, again, the green eye. And that came also in pile 2. What? There's something else in here. There's another message. There's an all-seeing eye, the heart chakra. It's also saying, you know, when you put love out there, don't have the fear of worrying if you're going to get burned, because that's part of the manifestation where it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I almost said propelling. So understanding that it kind of just comes with the territory anyway. And it's not to martyr yourself, put yourself within that kind of a position, but almost assuming that and that risk, given that assumption, like it's an inevitable piece of when you love someone, right? Or put your heart into something. There needs to be a clear practice of it for the building of resilience. It's just strength building, becoming more adept in your skill. That if it's not received well, that it'll still make you that more advantageous, because you're building a practice, right? A skill set, a mastery. So your takeaway is always going to be at least what you've put in. Oh, that's what it is. All right. And it may take some time, and you may not be, recognized, but, you have to decide, like I said, what is right for you in the end. And securing this Four of Wands atmosphere, really driving forward in that truth that you need to take a step back. Yeah. Or even a step forward. Yeah. Setting the trees ablaze almost. Comment, right? So because the Six of Wands is a more celestial, more macrocosmic level of victory. And this is like all with the help of divine forces. You see how the pearl carries out through here. They're almost like prayer beads, a rosary, pearls of wisdom, asking for divine assistance, grace, and how that's forward facing to here, where you see the pearls casted out into the atmosphere, almost like seeds. Okay. I think that is it. So those are some points to take into consideration in your next best steps forward. I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to do a last call for spirit and angels for pile 3. If there's anything else, that's one. Dropped on the Queen of Cups. And we have 10 of Discs. That's ultimate abundance. I think that about wraps it up for that. And you see the the Queen of Cups is already building something. You see at her throat chakra, it's very open, and it has the Three of Pentacles. So also building that foundation of your voice. It adds to the 10 of Pentacles, 6, 7. Where's the other 3? How insane is that? I only see in the 10 of Discs a total of 7. And then we just found the 3 on here. And it fell on here. How crazy is that? So 3, 6, 7. Do you see any more? Because then we saw that 3. So part of that abundance is self-initiative. Like it's constantly building upon oneself. It's your investments. Very cool. That's interesting. Okay, I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 was on the clock. Weird. Anyway, hope that helps you. Please consider liking, subscribing, donating to my channel. There's a Venmo down below. But other than that, let's go ahead and thank your higher selves, the angels, your ancestors, your spirit totems, elementals, spirit, angels, your inner children. And I think that's it for now. Hope to see you again later. And I hope that helps you out. I know it will help me out in the end as well. Okay. Or in the beginning. Okay. Bye for now.